Hey everyone, I'm Sherry and welcome. So today we're going to be potting up some seeds. Now last week I started going through my seeds, not realizing that I actually had some from 2016. Oh my gosh, tells you how long it's been since I've gone through them. But hey, we cleaned it all out and I do have some seeds. I was testing to see if they would germinate. So I've got some here, and what we're going to do is plant them up today, see how they go, see if they'll continue germinating. These are ones that have already spreaded. I do have some more that aren't at that point yet, but I want to see if they're going to grow from here once we start planting them up. I have some peat pots, which I wouldn't use at this point normally, but I've already got them, purchased them a few years ago, so I'm going to use what I have. If you see, we're in my kitchen. I don't have an outdoor potting shed or a garden or anything, and it's kind of chilly out right now, so welcome inside, and we're going to get going no matter what. So come along. Thanks. So just to give you an idea of what we're working with today, I have romaine lettuce, heirloom tomatoes, slicing cucumbers, San Marzano tomatoes, a zinnia mix, and status. Now, again, I don't know how these are going to do. I actually don't want to waste these seeds, and I want to see if I can get them to grow within cells and plant them in my garden as the frost goes away. So let's get going. And I just have my seed starting mix that I keep in a container. I don't have anything fancy, but it's able to be filled up. I can water it in here, keeps it nice and tidy. And this is seed starting mix I actually purchased from Home Depot a few years ago. They come in these blocks and it produces so much, and it's so much better than using peat moss. Now, I don't know if you've heard the backlash on peat moss, but it actually is more detrimental to the environment than is worth it. I do have a blog post on it if you're interested in reading it. It's at sherryrupert.com, and there's just so much information. So I am trying to steer away from using peat moss at all. It doesn't replenish. It's bad for the environment, and I'm just not into it. But let's get seeding and we'll move on. So we're going to start out with the romaine. Look at all these babies. It's pretty amazing to me. This is only 6 days growth, and these are looking so good. Just to give you a backdrop, I'm a professional landscaper slash gardener. I always like to call myself a gardener because I deal with flower beds, flower design, putting in bushes, trees, plants, that sort of thing. But I'm not very big on vegetables, which is kind of funny because I'm vegan. All I eat is vegetables. Um, but I have never been educated enough to really grow a huge garden. A little bit here and there, nothing major. So this year on my to-do list is building more vegetable beds and really being able to sustain myself. Last year I started canning some. I had tomatoes. Um, that was my biggest thing. I also had some herbs, but this year I really want to learn more about it and make my beds much bigger so that I can have so many more. Um, so that is on my to-do list this year. And um, on top of that, we have some just regular work in the garden. I do have to fix 2 paths. My one path by the gate, it is muddy. It's just a muddy mess. I had some wood there from a few years ago, and that was really just to be able to walk in that area. It literally, you could sink in it. So I need to figure out something to put there just so it not only is it walkable, but I can't get the mower through there. The mower just sinks. And so I'm going to work on that this year. Also, and I've talked about this before, in the front flower bed, I want to put in some evergreens. And while I do love what's out there, and when spring and summer come, it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. But there's a lot of perennials that die back during the winter. And so I'm looking for more evergreen growth. And, oops, well, that one didn't work out. So I was thinking of putting some, what is it? Autumn Angel Encore Azalea up there. And that way, not only is it evergreen, it produces flowers. And I love the Encores because they will produce several times a year. Um, and being a gardener, I love having the flowers. Now, I'm not 100% sold on that, but I do think that that's the way I'm going. Um, I'm not I'm not a traditional type person, so I don't have the formal gardens. I do have more of your cottagey, lots of plants in smaller spaces, a little more tight knit, and that's what really brings me joy. So I'm not quite so sure that um, the boxwoods would look so great in my flower beds. Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't try it. I'm just not the hugest fan. They do have their right spot for them, just not necessarily here. Um, and so we're working on that. I also want to try a new flower in the front flower beds as my annual color. Now I have done, sorry, I have done begonias, I've done impatiens. It gets some sun, but also some shade. Um, and it's afternoon sun, but it is under two big, what are they? Um, Bradford pears. And so I have been thinning out those Bradford pears this year because they are at the end of their lifespan. And I believe that, it does have some more sun in it right now, more than it had in years past. But I don't know if it's will be enough to fully have sun plants. But that is what I am trying for this year. I think over the next few weeks, I'm going to actually remove some more branches, bring in some more sun, and try a new plant up there. So hopefully that works out well. All right, we've got our romaine done. That over here. And so now we're going to work on some tomatoes. And again, these are peat pots that I bought a few years ago. And we're just going to go with it. I'll be able to pot these up later on. But for the moment, this is what we're working with. All right, so we have some heirloom Blue Beach tomatoes, and we're going to get those potted up. Again, these are just seeds that I was testing and hoping that they would do okay. Did not germinate, so I'm not going to worry about them right now, but we do need a tag. Let's get a tag for both of them. Next, we have some San Marzano tomatoes. Next one we're working on are slicing cucumbers. I do have a few extra that I'm going to add. Hey, babies. No waste. Let's see what will germinate. All right, babies. There you go. Nice new home. All right. Let's work on status next. Now, I've never grown status. I hear that they're easy, but as a newbie for me, why not try it? Look, they seem to be sprouting out well, at least some of them. Some of them have not yet, but we're going to try and pot them up anyway and see how it goes. And of course, the doggy wants to go out. So our status is done. And this is zinnia. Now again, I know zinnia is really easy to grow from seed, but I wasn't sure if my seed was actually good. So they seem to be starting to sprout. So let's just pot them up. And I'm using a bigger pot for this because zinnia grows so fast that I'm hoping not to have to repot them before they go in the ground. I could be wrong, but you know, try it. So I have 13 seeds. I'm going to put 2 in each pot. One pot will have 3. And that should suffice. I hope. Now, not all of these are germinating, so I don't even know if they will all come through or not. I've also have some pepper seeds from a pepper. I've not tried this before, but why not? We're going to try planting them up as well and see what happens. On this one, I am going to put 2 seeds per space. And again, these may never even sprout. I don't know. But this is the year to try it. All right, guys, that is it for now. I am going to get everything cleaned up. Like I said, I do have some more seeds that I am testing to see if they are still viable. Those have probably another week or so before they even attempt to germinate, as their 14 to 20 day germination period. But I'll get these guys under lights and hopefully have good luck so that I can have a decent garden this year. Thanks so much for joining, and I hope you get a chance to enjoy your garden today. Bye. Until next time.